All right, here we go. Dave Smith here. I'm the head coach with RPI Hockey, and today's topic is neutral zone offense, a topic that, as I dug into it, I found very simple, but very complicated at the same time. So I wanted to make sure that we understand where neutral zone offense fits into our team play. So right here, we teach our players at RPI how it's connected to the rest of the game and how it is critical to be very good in the middle of the ice. And we're going to get some glimpses into that stuff today. I think it's important as well to make sure that we have a common understanding of what we're talking about. So with the definition, even though it's simple, it's important for our players to understand that zone offense isn't just between the blue lines. It's how we're trying to advance the puck through the neutral zone to play in the offensive zone. Ideally, it ends up in a goal or a possession, but it's really advancing the puck through the neutral zone. If we can't possess it, we want to be able to forecheck effectively and get right on it and get a first touch. The two big keys that I believe in and our staff at RPI believes in is you do this with pace, both thinking, skating, and passing pace, as well as have good ice balance. Ice balance is making sure that we have puck support, but we also spread out the defenders so that we're very hard to defend. I thought this was a very good first clip to show because it shows that right now the blue team, Quinnipiac, is on the attack and they quickly lose this puck. And you're going to see that we from neutral zone offense in Quinnipiac's case to neutral zone defense, back to neutral zone offense in the blink of an eye. And you can see just one missed pass. And is our system set up to quickly go between systems? I thought that was a really excellent clip. So now as we get into sort of the meat and potatoes of it, it's important that we have a together plan, and a together plan that's not complicated, that allows for creativity, that we can push this pace, again, passing, skating, and efforting together. So we want to think about the first touch. Everything comes off the first touch. Does the defenseman have time? Is he under pressure? And then what's happening behind him as we come out of the offensive zone or we're from one system to the next? So speed and support are very important. And as we put things into play, there's really three systems that we want to focus on. So quick up does not allow the defense to set up. If the defense is set up, we have to have a plan and organized patterns, I guess, if you will, to try and break through the offensive into the offensive zone through the neutral zone. And then we'll finish today's presentation with some look at some different face-offs to allow us to get into the zone. I think it's really important as we focus down here how we get into neutral zone offense. It can happen from tracking. It can happen from line rush against, it can happen from neutral zone forecheck, and it can happen from the O zone. So when we practice with our teams, we need to put our players in those situations so that it's quickly can flow from one system to a connected next system. And then the end of that is what happens after neutral zone forecheck. We want to make sure that we get into our forecheck and then can play in the O zone. Or we have a successful line rush and then can play in the O zone, or we go straight into O zone play. Might just be a simple possession and a curl up into the offensive zone. So having a together plan is really important. Now what I want to do is show you how really neutral zone offense got a lot of attention a few years ago. So we're going to just flip to that video. So we see this clip, Philly versus Tampa a few years ago, and this is a classic example of don't let the defense set up. So at this point in a 39-second clip, Philly says, you know what? We're not going to turn it over. We're going to be patient. We're going to wait for you to make a mistake. And it's a great clip to expose how challenging it is to get through a set neutral zone defense. So eventually here, the referee blows the whistles. There it is. And we stop. But exposing a set defense is very challenging, and one that we want to focus on at some point here today in this presentation. Okay, and we saw as Philly waited for Tampa to move, we've talked about ice balance, which means fill your lanes, but we also have to have support and speed to the puck. Now, when we look at it from the forwards perspective, what do they see when they're efforting back out of the offensive zone or in neutral zone forecheck? They want to read what the first touch looks like. Is the defenseman under pressure? And then we want to attack. We don't want to let the defense set up, as we saw in the previous YouTube clip. Now, some standard routes back, we like our forwards to return inside the dots, and we watched a lot of video, and we see a lot of video in preparation for this. And it's best practice to check the middle of the ice, whether they have the puck or we're about to get the puck. Everything needs to react and respond with us in the middle of the ice. Communication in this area here for the defenseman is going to be very, very important. Now, we talked about quick ups. That's the best way. Don't let the defense set up coming straight up the strong side. You could go to the middle. You can hit the weak side. We don't want to allow the defenders set up. So the quickest way is go straight north, the shortest path between 2 points. So we can do that. And we are also bringing our centerman over to the puck. This guy's providing ice balance. Now, if the puck did go D to D, as you can see here, we don't want that center to have to be slow and reroute back. We would just allow this winger. So now this is our support situation. Now we go D to D and quick north, and we have ice balance with our centerman on the weak side. So let's watch a few quick up videos here. So this is a game from Europe. And what happens is when teams pressure hard like this, we need a default release. And more often than not, the safest and most effective play is up the strong side board. So we want to ensure that we have strong side support. He's on the right side of the puck and he wins that battle, so that defenseman who is under pressure can make a simple play. In this case as well, you can see very predictable. We are supporting to the puck with speed, and we will have ice balance once we get up into the zone. All right, good clip. Now, when we go back for the first touch, the forwards are reading, what does he have? This defender has done a job potentially cutting off that pass. So we go right up, we use the boards, and now you can see, let's go back just a little bit, we are coming to the puck. We've got ice support and ice balance, and now we can flow right into our offensive zone. Really a good quick up to catch the defenders. Here's a D to D, all right? Just try and stop it at the right place. And even though it's a D to D, we can still attack, okay? We've got one guy beat. We can go north very quickly. We have the default up the wall, and the other guys fill the lane. And in this case, we have the D join for an excellent line rush 4. Another quick up. Again, we have the default. There's really no play. There's nothing that any of these guys can do. We've got a little bit of congestion. So let's put it up the wall. We know that we're thinking this is our default spot, and then let's flow to the puck so we can strike quickly without letting them get set up. Here's another clip of it. Again, it happens. As soon as you see we're getting the puck, we're going north. We're going fast. We get it off the wall indirect. A really good principle from the line rush. Now we get some ice balance. We make a play and we're good to go. That's off a straight quick up. Now, as we approach the concept of D to D, there's an early D to D. We always want the strong side outlet, regardless of the center depth. We can flow to the puck, and we have ice balance with guys moving so we can have the next phase of our neutral zone. All right. So we go high, we go quick up, D to D quick up, In this case, we get a bump back to an open centerman and we have possession into the zone, which is our goal. Because we're coming back and you never know the depth, right? Sometimes we have centermen at different depths on the return and the reload. So we go D to D. Now we're starting to go north. There's our default. The weak side winger had come across probably a little more than we would have liked him to, but we're able to fill some lanes with the play in front of us, or a D could come. But you can see how quickly these plays happen. So here's a quick, again, underhandle, D to D north, attack space. All right, we're flooding to the puck side, and we're also got a little movement to open ice. Good pass for possession into the zone. These are the D to D quick ups. D to D, right? Allow this defenseman. You can see him looking, right? He's got all these options, but we know that we have a default up the strong side. Now our movement, now we trust our hockey players to fill lane, find space, and guys moving away from the puck after the kick out. D to D, love this. So after a while, teams know, pause that just a little bit. Teams know that we've been looking strong side. We've been looking here. Anytime we can get it to the middle, we like that. We really like that. And you can see we're anticipating very well, very well. We want to go north, and anytime we can beat 3 neutral zone forecheckers with 1 pass, that's a good entry. Nice play. Here we go again. D to D, we've got our structure. We've got guys moving. We find the cross ice guy, and now the other players know that they've got to come for support and have ice balance so we can get that next touch. Another D to D. Remember, we're reading off of this. The forwards are reading off of this first touch. They see it. Now they know they can flow. You can see that center going north, makes some space behind him to the winger, who now can come in and create more space, make a play. Moving with speed. Another one, straight up the wall, a bump back. And this ice balance is very important. Now, some of the skills are for the defenseman. So important that our defensemen are mobile, they can skate, and they see the ice and where the pressure is coming from. But more importantly, let's be predictable for us. So when you see these defenseman escapes, now the players can react. We've already beat 1 guy. Now we're bringing it 2 in, maybe even 3. A good simple pass here. We get an odd man rush. We also catch them in a line change. Right? Here's another one. The forwards aren't in position. Nobody's open. Good defenseman here. Now you can see beats 1 guy, beats the second guy. Now you can make a play. Now we're coming with speed. We're coming from the weak side across, and we can fill the lane for ice balance here. This was more of on a set play, but it's important to note, bring the checker to you, defenseman who can skate to another defenseman who can skate, who can attack the open space. Now another defender's going to have to step up, and we make a good play there. Love this clip because it really shows what happens when you bring checkers to you. All right, there's nowhere to go. We acknowledge the defenders. In this case, Ottawa has done a nice job, but we have ice balance, and the defenders just cannot check everybody. And we quickly turn and go, and we enter the zone. Now, in this clip, these defensemen are back because of the movement that these 3 other players had, and 1 pass creates a 3-on-2. So here's the speed away from the puck. We have a plan. We have a set forecheck against a set breakout. We're doing a tip play, right? The 2 Leafs guys that are coming down with speed are going to get this touch. We're actually into a really good forecheck position here, which is our goal, which is to possess the puck in the offensive zone. Now, there's some common questions that come up is, if I'm going to use the boards, but is my stick better in the middle or the outside? And I want to show some good clips here. So here's a quick up. He uses an indirect because he can't get this puck directly to this guy, but he knows there's open ice over here. Let's use this as an indirect pass. And in that case, he has his stick to the wall. Right now he brings defenders to him, speed off the puck. Great goal. Love that goal. Here it is again. The puck had just gone D to D. We bring defenders to them. And this is Colgate women's hockey, who are very talented. They use an indirect off the boards to a stick on the wall. And the players away from the puck are the ones now moving, creating a good scoring chance. Excellent, excellent clip. Again, another little D to D pass. You can see in this scenario that we are reading off that first touch, went D to D, and now we're flowing and filling the lanes with speed. There's no time. There's no time. We don't want the defenders to set up. Stick to the middle because he's got lots of space. Stick to the outside would mean he needs puck protection there. Another great goal off a simple, quick neutral zone indirect play. Can't get the puck through, goes indirect. This is a skill that needs to be practiced. Catch and carry off the wall and enter the zone. Catch and carry off the wall. Defenders are taught to come from the middle. Catch and carry off the wall. Really good play. The more we practice this, the better we get. Now, you would say this is a breakout, but remember the goal of our neutral zone is to advance the puck through the neutral zone in with possession. A wonderful indirect pass. We've got speed away from the puck and we catch and carry into the zone for a really good scoring opportunity and goal. Another clip, again, indirect or direct. Stick on the outside. This is a play that when it's practiced, and there's simple drills where we catch pucks on or near the dot, where we can flow right into the offensive zone with possession. A catch and carry. D to D, off the wall, catch and carry. Now, what I love about this clip as well is the guy's away from the puck. Remember, when he has it, we're doing something. As soon as that puck moves, we react together. He presents a stick, he's flowing to the wall, he's coming off. And we're coming with speed and ready to attack. All of a sudden, you get a short 3-on-2. These are the chances that can lead to winning games. Again, long D to D, off the wall, indirect around the defender, stick to the outside, keep your momentum. Stick to the outside, protect it, let the speed coming to you, right? Speed coming to him, draw the defender in, protect on the outside. This is great neutral zone offense. Some of the little skills that have to be achieved just to help us get through the zone. Teams will use the red line, teams will use the blue line. Big bodies, sticks on the ice. Let's use the boards to our advantage and practice the skill of catching pucks off the wall. Now, when teams do get set up, we have to have a plan, right? We have to have a plan. So here you can see our organized movement creates holes in the defense. So we can't go slow. It's not methodical. We can't run a different sport offense and delay. We need to have an organized attack. So we go D to D, we take some ice, we bring defenders to us. Our movement, I mentioned this before, our movement creates some gap on the defending team where we now have space and now we're coming in with possession and a first touch. Here it is again. Don't skate into traffic. Don't skate into the traffic accident. We go D to D. We've got our organized plan. And we enter the zone with speed and possession. Here's two forward swinging. Okay, this guy's got the puck. Two forward swing. First guy's going to go to the middle. Next guy's going to stay wall. And look at the ice balance that we have here, right? This was the first forward that came to the wall. This guy was over here. This is the two guys that swung, right? Now we have an opportunity to possess into the zone, or at minimum, chip and chase, win a battle, almost score a goal. Another example of two deep. Here they are. They get into it a little bit late, but we're coming. One guy's going to fill the middle. This guy's going to vacate, so we have ice balance. We have speed away from the puck. We hit the open man, and now we're going to have a really good entry because the movement created confusion and opened up holes. Another really good clip here, the Colgate women's team. Okay, defenseman skating and agility, take the open ice against a set forecheck, draw them to one side, come back and go out the other. Here we are again, drawing the defenders in, movement and understanding of how this is happening together as a team. Good movement, good speed, creates a hole right here. Good scoring chance coming. As we do that, we want to make sure our defense fill the open ice with ice balance as the fourth attacker. Got a few clips here of that happening. So here we go a quick up. We're ready to jump into the play. There's our three forwards. And here's the fourth defenseman who joined. And you can see these forwards pushed back the defenders. This is where the open ice was. Nice play by the defender, skating and vision about what's available. Very simple here. We go from the D, strong side, there's the open ice. And this effort started way back here, right? Started way back there. Simple pass to open ice, net drive, speed away from the puck. Terrific goal, big goal for Canada there. Here's another one, effort, right? Effort from this defenseman on the strong side. He can become an option just to help get pucks into the zone. He's wide open. And again, the movement up top doesn't allow the defenseman to be comfortable with their gap. D to D, watch the effort again from number 2. He sees open ice. He sees an opportunity. We have ice balance here, which helps spread them out. Look at all this ice. Sees a good opportunity. He's going to get a goal that way one time. Here we go, D to D. Again, early effort from the left defenseman. He gets up, finds a seam, capitalizes on open ice. Takes skating and vision. Our best speed, and I touched on this earlier, comes when our systems are connected, right? So here's an example of a few of these. Right here, we go from line rush against to neutral zone offense immediately. This player was back checking inside the dot line, saw a turnover, flooded the puck side, one simple pass and a great goal. Here we go again with a quick up. From a neutral zone forecheck where they were good, they quickly go into neutral zone offense. You can see guys flooding to the puck, having lots of motion, and establishing a first touch forecheck, possession in the offensive zone. Here we go again. Neutral zone forecheck into neutral zone offense, into forecheck, where we get another first touch and possession in the offensive zone. Sometimes we have to find a way to get through the neutral zone just to play in the offensive zone. All right, here we go from tracking to neutral zone offense. Finding space, moving pucks quickly, an organized movement that pushes the defenseman back. Here we go from tracking to neutral zone offense. To line rush 4, to net drive, and you can see these guys working for ice balance and a great goal. Good hand-eye by Riley there. Neutral zone offense gets chipped out of the zone. We quickly go away from the bench for a line change and attack. See, we're getting one guy change, but we flood here and we have a defenseman jumping up, right? For line rush 4 with possession over the blue line. Another one, go away from the bench. Underhandle, quick movement. Guys flooding to puck side support with ice balance. We draw them in, make a play, possession in the offensive zone. Another one, blind. Someone was yelling to him, fires it away from the bench. Stick on the outside for protection. Good catch and carry. We've practiced that. Enter the offensive zone. Occasionally you can't enter with possession, so we need to just chip and chase or at least go get it. So here's our D to D. Stick on the outside. Stick on the outside because there's pressure. We flow with support and ice balance. We get right into a forecheck situation. Ideally, we want to keep that away from the goalie, but we're energized there and we're coming fast. D to D. Underhandle, indirect pass, double chip with stick protection. We get in the offensive zone. Good job by our defender here to bring him to him. Little chip, stick on the outside, speed away from the puck. It allows us to establish a forecheck. We draw this guy in, we move the puck. They've done a good job behind defending. There's really no space, so we have to dump it ourselves. The space was not here, the space was here, and our defenseman capitalized on it with a good cross corner dump to a guy moving to get it. Now, the stagnant part of face-offs, which is a real good strategy here to understand what teams are going to do. This just run through. This is on our defensive blue line. So we're watching the defensive team here, right? We can hinge the centerman back, but we've got to push players out to make space for others coming. And we have our options, and now we have speed. And it's also important to understand that we could have had this guy come back to the puck. Saw that defenseman jump. Good face-off though. Here's another hinge. We win the draw back. The centerman goes deep. Go D to D, find the open ice. Trust our instincts. We know that we're coming up the middle. We're filling lanes, lots of movement, but the good concepts of filling lanes with speed. And we're able to go from a defensive blue line face-off into offensive zone possession. Just a couple of different looks. We can flood the opposite zone. We use this one a lot at RPI, like it, where we can just flood 3 guys to puck side and try and outnumber them. Indirect pass from the strong side D. Tampa Bay likes to use this, and again, it's similar to the center hinge. We're just going to hinge Tampa's going to hinge the strong side, the inside winger. So we make space, we create space, then we get a puck to open space, all to get through the neutral zone for possession or a forecheck. This one's a foot race. You might trust your speed, try and get them cheating a little bit, send them, try and spring him free, but very predictable. This was the second player. We tried to spring this guy. We have a good F3 from a blue line defensive side face-off. Last area to focus on here is the offensive blue line. All right. Simple, harder rounds are fine, but they're especially better when we have guys going and we have a recovery plan. All right. So it's short ice. We can go back and set up, but why let them set up? Let's come in with a plan. And you can see this was the left winger. The centerman's here pushing deep for a bump. We got a defenseman up. That's good organized hockey right there. Another offensive blue line, you can find that little soft spot, but you need guys to be moving to do it. As this puck goes down, we're going to watch this player. He's going to make space. He goes full speed this way. Player comes around. We made space right here. If it's there, we take it. We actually have it right down the right wing side. We have a two on one. Good play. Offensive blue line again. Flip the forward and the D. Trying to create space, get a little bump. We're able to enter the zone with possession. That's the goal. Neutral zone offense. Not a lot of complicated concepts, but if you can get your teams playing fast and organized, there's some holes and opportunities to expose. I do want to make sure I thank some of my friends in hockey for their insights and more in this presentation. A lot of good people that shared ideas. I don't think I'm inventing the game here, but there's some things that we've been very, very good at. Thank you. I appreciate your time, and thanks to the coaches site and call Ian.